गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Pancadasi chapter 11, Brahmananda Yogananda, on verse number 45. And here the analysis that how when we are in, how do we get into deep sleep is being told. And we saw the first stage when one gets bliss oriented before sleep because of the bed and the sheets and etc., and eventually gets absorbed in the sleep that was given in the verse number 42. And then the second stage was given in verse number 44, where it was told that while experiencing the objects, the Vishayananda, the joy from the objects, the bliss of the self is reflected in the quiet thought that is turned towards the self. Meaning, whenever any desire for the object is fulfilled, at that very moment the mind becomes thought-free. Temporarily though, but it becomes thought-free for that fraction of a moment. It can last whatever period, and during that period you are in the unmanifest mind. The mind is not manifest at that time. And in this experience also, the happiness is born out of contact with objects, is experienced through the trio: experiencer, experienced, and experience. Because of this trio, one feels exhausted and tired. So, why do we experience wall? No wall. You can sit up there if you want. Huh? You got the throne. Huh? Why do we experience? How do we experience the joy from the objects? Because of the triputi, the triad. And once this triad, the experiencer is trying to experience something. When that experience becomes complete, that very moment these three do not have any role to play. But what happens is, it is not this imaginary continuous experiencer. He gets tired of replacing one object with the other object, then next object with the next object, and from morning till evening he is doing the same thing again and again and again and again, and eventually out of exhaustion he looks forward to the sleep. Every living thing in this world does that, living being. And that was the second stage. Now the third stage. How does the tiredness caused by Vishayananda is removed? Tatshramasyapanutyartham Jivo dhavet paratmani Tenaikyam prapya tatratyo Brahmananda swayam bhavet. Brahmanandam swayam bhavet. For the removal of the tiredness of this Vishayananda, trio of the experience in joy, the jiva runs to the Supreme Self in deep sleep. I probably spoke a bit too early. The last part where because of that tiredness he wants to experience the bliss, he wants to go to sleep, that is being told here. By this, having reached oneness with Brahman, he attains the bliss of Brahman available in the deep sleep. So, as a result of the tiredness of experiencing the objects of the world through the trio of experiencer, experienced, and experience, this experiencer becomes tired because he is looking for a more permanent experience of joy. He doesn't want intermittent joy. He is tired of it because after experiencing one joy, he immediately needs to look for the next one. And for that, efforts are required, and he keeps putting efforts. Eventually, efforts exhaust you, and that's what happens to all of us every night. And in this way, Tena aikyam prapya swayam tatratyaha brahmananda bhavet, becomes one with it, and immediately in the sushupti avastha he attains oneness with Brahman. There the Triputi troubles him no more. There the trio of experiencer, experienced, and experience, or knower, known, knowing, or seer, seen, seeing, in all those trios, the trio as a principle, they do not disturb him anymore. So what is a deep sleep state? Deep sleep state is where you are not troubled by any movement of any sort. And where is the movement? In the mind. So there is no movement in deep sleep. There is utter silence. So freedom from movement is deep sleep. Freedom from movement consciously is called samadhi. Get it? Freedom from movement under conditions out of tiredness is deep sleep. Out of exhaustion is deep sleep. But same exhaustion and tiredness, if we can become free of that movement, then we are in samadhi. Whether that movement is expressing or not expressing, it does not matter. But we have become free from the mind. But that means we have got disidentified from the mind consciously. That is sahaja avastha, not even samadhi. That is sahaja avastha. Because in samadhi, again, nirvikalpa samadhi, mind will become empty. Yes, you are conscious there. But sahaja avastha is where there is no identification with the mind, which is full of movement of thoughts, ideas, concepts, etc., etc. Or time, space, and objectivity is within the mind, not in the self. See, this is a state, the deep sleep state, or the samadhi state, or the sahaja samadhi state. These are the states where antahkaran is not able to bind you. You are free of the antahkaran. You are free of the mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. In these three, where sleep, samadhi, and nirvikalpa samadhi and sahaja samadhi. You are free of the antahkaran. Who else is free of antahkaran? Who else is free of antahkaran? Huh? No. Ishvara. Ishvara is free of antahkaran. And therefore, this person becomes Bhagavan Tulya. See how you have to connect the dots. Don't just take it, you have to keep connecting them. That this person that we are talking about, This experience that we are talking about is not about someone else's experience. We are talking about our own experience. And when I give the example, who else is without, when I say that the person becomes free of antakaran, you become free of antakaran. Who else is free of antakaran? Lord is free of, Ishvara is free of antakaran. Oh, so I am also free of antakaran, he is also free of antakaran. Then can there be two? No, it is one and the same. And therefore, that bliss, which is the nature of Ishvara, which is the nature of that Paramatma, that is experienced, that becomes available. He touches that because there is no antakaran, there is no what you call barrier. See, it is who is going back towards who is getting absorbed to the sleep. Who is getting absorbed? I think no. Who is getting absorbed?
Tired mind.
Yeah, but who is owning it? I, isn't it? Which eye is this? Is this the pure eye or is this the reflected eye? Reflected eye. That reflected eye which appears because I and that, aham vritti and idam vritti, that aham vritti is tired now of holding on to the experiences. So, where is it expressing? In the mind. And it starts its journey towards the deep sleep. When it starts the journey towards the deep sleep, then the thought aspect of that aham as objects, as objective experience, slowly as you are going into sleep, all the objective experience is becoming null and void. It's becoming zero. As it becomes zero, there is nothing for I to get identified in the objective world. Why? Because it has thought, or it knows, or it has experience that when I go to deep sleep, I need that to replenish myself. But when it goes in there, it's getting sucked in, but it is still holding on to itself. I want to sleep, I want to go to sleep. But even that I thought, I thought, I thought does not go to sleep. But I thought becomes free of the thought aspect. See, there is I which is absolute, there is I which is witness, and there is I which is the individual, isn't it? So this individual I which is expressing through the mind as the reflected consciousness, or that reflected consciousness which is expressing as I, that is better language. When this reflected consciousness which is expressing as I does not have anything to hold on to or identify with, that is idam, that aspect, no object to identify with, then it also loses its identity, it loses itself, it has got nothing to stand with. See? And when it goes back, where does it go back? Can I vanish? It merges back into the Atma, the self. So this is what is taking place.
Swami, the reflected consciousness is expressed as the small I, isn't it? The higher I and then the witness I.
The first is the absolute I, which cannot be talked about. Then is the absolute I. Okay, take it this way. Water is the absolute I. Ocean, I can't take that step. Okay, absolute I. Then that absolute I, untouched in this equipment, is called the witness I. That witness I, when gets identified with objects, it becomes the individual I. So the step is, the individual I must first recognize itself as the I which is independent of all the objective happenings or objective thoughts, and once it becomes free of that, then recognize that it is of the nature of absolute. And somewhere in between the step Ishvara is there, totality. So that is the journey. But what is happening in deep sleep? You are bypassing the Ishvara altogether. You are going straight back into the Brahmananda. Because no antakaran.
So what is Sahaja Samadhi then, Swami?
Sahaja Samadhi is, because we are living in the world and we see Mahatmas who are living on a daily basis. We say that they are realized masters.
So they are the witness.
So they are, but their mind is also functioning. They are seen to be acting. They are seen to be doing various projects. But but you ask them, they are not identified with anything. They say it's happening. The Lord is doing it. I am not doing anything. And that is their direct experience. That even though they are making this statement, they know they are not making this statement. The mind is. We haven't reached that stage yet. If we have, fantastic. And frankly speaking, all of us, sometime or the other, every day, have that experience, but we don't have the acumen to recognize it. Because it happens for a minuscule few moments and then it vanishes. So our attention is more on the hurry-burry of the thoughts. What's next, what's next, what's next? Not on the recognizing that I can never be attached. We only think about attachment. We only think about how to detach. We never think about, hey, how many times during the day you say, I am not detached to anything. I am the witness. If you are the witness, then your performance in the world will be totally different. If you are the witness, you cannot be disturbed by anyone in the world. If you are the witness, you cannot be involved in the world consciously. Think of the consequence of that statement. So just by saying I am a witness does not mean anything. It must be your own personal direct experience. And that should then show in your, because what your experience is, then that should come out of you also, no? So how do you come to know? How do you come to know a person has started telling the truth? When he stops telling lies, isn't it? How do you come to know your stomach is full? When you burp a bit, isn't it? So there are symptoms. So what is the symptom of having come to be the witness? That you do not get affected by anything, you do not get involved in anything. See? Anyway, we are not on the topic of witness, we are on the topic of deep sleep. So, deep sleep state is a state where there is no antakaran. Antakaran, chatushtaya. What is that? Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. In the shlokas 46 to 54, the teacher proceeds to cite some examples given in the scriptures to illustrate the bliss enjoyed in deep sleep. So what is this bliss that we enjoy in deep sleep? Why we want to enjoy this bliss? So, दृष्टान्ता शकुनिष्येनः दृष्टान्ता शकुनिष्येनः कुमारश्च महानृपः कुमारश्च महानृपः महाब्राह्मण इत्येते सुप्त्यानन्दे श्रुतिरिताः The scriptures have declared a number of examples regarding the bliss of Brahman available in deep sleep, such as that of the birds Shakuni and Shena, a child, a monarch, great knowers of Vedas and Brahman, etc. So now each example will be taken in consequent verses. शकुनी सूत्रबद्धः सन् दिक्षु व्यापृत्य विश्रमम् अलब्ध्वा बन्धनस्थानम् हस्तस्तम्भाद्युपाश्रयेत्. He says, in the first example, in the previous verse, first was taken Shakuni and Shena. So here Shakuni. A Shakuni bird secured and tied down by a thread tries to move away in all direction. Finally, tired and having failed to get a proper support to rest, ultimately takes refuge at the point where he is tied, such as the hand or a post, etc., etc. See? So, this is the example taken from the Upanishads, and here we have seen it in India, though they do it when they go for shows, and a few places we have seen that if you tie, this bird is tied, it will try to run away this way, that way, after trying. That's what we are also doing. Whole day we are going after here, after there, this project, that relative, this child born, that person getting married, this person sick, this, go for exercise, go for walk, go for this, then go for shopping, then go for coffee. I still got so much to do, and the class also is there. Then rush, exhaust. Then where do you come back? After a whole day of running, back home. You come back home. And where do you feel the peace and solace? Come and crash into your sofa and then have your tea or coffee or food or TV, and then you feel a bit relaxed. Isn't it? Similarly, the mind also. Just like that bird keeps running everywhere, when he gets exhausted, he wants to come to a place where he comes to know this is the place where he is tied to. That is the place where there is, which is effortless. So he'll come back there. So where do we go after running around everywhere the whole day? Back to deep sleep, which is effortless bliss. What was the whole day? Bliss, joy born out of efforts, isn't it? Out of efforts. If I eat, then I'll get joy. If I go and see that sick person, then that person will feel good, and I will also feel good that I went and saw that person. See? So everywhere efforts is involved. But in deep sleep, there is no effort. So this example is taken. Similarly, the next example, this example is applied to the limited entity, that is Jiva, in the next sloka. Jivopadhimanastadvata dharma dharma falaptaye स्वप्ने जागृति च भ्रान्त्वा क्षीणे कर्मणि लीयते. Similarly, just like that bird keeps running around everywhere and comes back to the point where the string is tied, similarly, the conditioning of the jiva called mind also gets absorbed into its source, ignorance, after having exhausted all righteous and sinful deeds in the experience of dream and waking states. So what is told here? That just like that bird, the mind also keeps running here, there, everywhere. Fantasies, imagination, various concepts, various projects, etc., and eventually, why he wants to do that? Because he wants to enjoy the fruits of the efforts, isn't it? That's why. Because if he, what is the fruit? Joy. He wants to be fulfilled. That's why you eat food. That's why you watch TV. That's why we come to satsang. Isn't it? Everything is for that purpose only. In the same manner, the mind, which is the upadhi, an instrument for the jiva for obtaining the fruits of righteous deeds or of unrighteous deeds, the fruits of righteous deeds are sukham and unrighteous deeds are dukkham, is constantly moving in all directions in the dream and waking states, from person to person, place to place, and time to time, and object to object. Ultimately, when all the karmas which are responsible for giving these positive and negative bhogas or experiences are exhausted, he goes back to his own material cause, the prakriti. They never get exhausted. It's just being told they get exhausted, because if they get exhausted, you will be in samadhi and you will not experience them the next day. But it is not so. So they don't get exhausted, but they become out of exhaustion. Okay, they get exhausted out of exhaustion. That you can put it. They get tired. For the day, for the day, for the day, not permanently. See, for example, when you are working on the computer for a long time and you get exhausted, your eyes start getting tired, then immediately you want to just, you're propelled to go and do something else. Look at green, do some gardening, do something else, but not touch the computer. Isn't it? If you are inside the house all the time doing this, because you are inside the house, you will do something. What will you do? You will watch TV, you will cook something, you will clean something. It's a never ending place. Jobs keep coming up inside the house. So how to escape that? You get exhausted, let's go to shopping center for a coffee. That is why we are escaping. We want to escape that. Because we cannot sit quiet. We don't know how to. Something or the other. The jiva, which has two aspects, the limitation aspect of matter and the conscious aspect, the self. In the laya of deep sleep, the prakriti goes to prakriti and the conscious aspect becomes one with the Parabrahma Paramatma. So when I said that this reflected consciousness becomes the I thought and the that thought is the prakriti. Everything that comes under the definition of that, idam, is prakriti. And the I thought is the conscious. I feel I am conscious, isn't it? So that prakriti part, the gross part goes to the prakriti, it merges back, and the conscious part goes back to its own source. What is that? Parabrahma Paramatma, the reality, the self, the infinite self. And in this way, so in this way, the next example of Shena bird is taken, the eagle. Shieno vegena nidaika idaika lampata shayitum vrajet jiva suptyai tatha dhāved Brahmanandaikalampataha. Lampata means someone is rushing back to his abode. And rushing back means what? It is lampat. How we बचपन में हम यूज करते थे, What is Lampat? You are in such a hurry to get back home that sometimes you speed or you don't follow the rules of the road. Why? You are just in a hurry to get back home. The moment when we were kids, if we could hear our scooter, dad's scooter was a bit so we could hear it long distance away. The moment we heard it, rule was before dad and mom come, we have to be showered and in neat, clean clothes in front of them. Can't be in dirty clothes because they want to see they are orderly kids. They are not dirty kids. So we used to hear that, and by the time they come, they will get down, they'll park the scooter, whatever vegetables they have bought, they'll take it out from the boot of the car scooter. That was enough. Fresh. See, that is lampat. Dhada dhad bhage वापस. So this sheno vegena nidaika lampata shayitum vrajet. The eagle, when he is flying so high up above the sky, up in the sky, for long periods of time, how long can he fly? Even though if it is effortless, but how long? He gets tired because of the heat, he has to hold himself up. And when he gets tired, he single pointedly, boom, he comes back to his nest to rest because the sleep overtakes. He wants to, or the feeling that I am exhausted, he wants to come back to his nest. Similarly, this jiva also, who is doing and putting efforts throughout the day and becomes tired of the responsibilities that he has to carry out throughout the day, he is looking forward to go back, when I used to work, I used to work 14 hours, 12 hours straight, no break. And when I used to come back, I had just got a job here, no car, nothing, so train from the city, you come here. And I used to go to sleep. What to do? So you know that the train is taking you back, but you are But the train used to take me back to the Flinders Street station also. And someone used to eventually wake me up. Hey, I said, where are we? Flinders Street. The train hasn't started yet. What time did you get in the train? Once it happened, 2 times I went back to Flinders Street station. Because so exhausted. See? So in the same way, jiva, carrying the load of the upadhis of the mind, the responsibilities, the failures, the successes, the dharma, adharma, papa, punya, etc., gets tired. Tired of what? Tired of guilt, tired of expectations, tired of ambitions, tired of holding on and trying to remember what is right in this circumstance. Because we all don't know what is right and what is wrong. And this continuous fluctuation is going on in the mind. Should I have done this? Should I not have done this? Is it right? Is it not right? And that keeps building up the friction, and it heats, the whole system heats up and you get exhausted.
I think mostly it's more of a tired of acting, because if you are not yourself, that you somehow you have to pretend every day.
True.
That's
The doer is taking all those roles, no?
Yeah, if you are self, then you merge with it already. But then you don't. That we do.
What you are saying is the ideal situation, but how many people are there? Only Mahatmas are there.
No, Swami, what I'm saying is for me, that I am tired of really acting, because that when I get out and I have to somehow
You have to, with the colleagues and with the bosses, you have to put on a particular.
Yes,
Exactly.
Playing different roles.
It's all. It is the roles that we play which make us tired.
Yes.
If you be yourself, you
That's
will
what
not be
I'm trying
tired.
to say,
It
yeah.
can't be because the roles have to be fulfilled and in a
No,
way.
they don't have to be fulfilled.
No.
I mean,
They don't have to be fulfilled. Let him fulfill them. He has put you in that. If you say, I have to fulfill the role, you lost the battle already. Because the individual cannot do anything. But he thinks that he can. And he persists. The duragra, the word is duragra. He keeps insisting that I can solve my own problems. And therefore takes more responsibilities. Therefore takes more projects. But he cannot. What will be his desire? Once you get exhausted, then what is his desire? That he is overpowered by just one desire. He wants bliss. He wants continuous bliss, unadulterated bliss, homogeneous bliss, which does not break for even a moment. And he wants nothing else in this world. He rushes to sleep. And this is our lot. Every day. Every day. Now you can come up with 100 different reasons. No, I don't look forward to sleep. Sleep comes. Exactly, that is why it comes. That's what the scriptures are saying. This is the reason it comes. Continuing now, the third example, Kumarascha Mahanrupaha. So there is a Kumar, that means a child, then a king, and then Mahabrahmana, and a realized, a person who is well versed and knows the goal or has directly experienced the goal of the Vedas, etc. अतिबालस्तनं पीत्वा अतिबालस्तनं पीत्वा मृदुशय्यागतो हसन् मृदुशय्यागतो हसन् रागद्वेषादि अनुत्पत्तेः रागदेशादि अनुत्पत्तेः आनन्दैकस्वभावभाक् Anandaikasvabhavak. A suckling baby being breastfed by the mother and having slept on a soft bed, smiling without any liking and disliking, remains as an embodiment of bliss. So once, when the milk is not given, all the sounds are coming out. Once the tummy is full, majority of the small children, immediately they'll play for a few moments, smile here there, because the tummy is full, straight away go to. See? But is that bliss that the child is experiencing, is it out of knowledge? No, it is deep sleep. And why is that smile on the child's face? Because there are no thoughts, there is no likes and dislikes. There is no issues, there is no projects, mind is empty. But we have seen children who are crying in the deep sleep, making different faces, then they are dreaming, they are not sleeping. Because if you go to sleep and you will also, if you put a camera, selfie camera, and you see yourself at night, and in the morning you check it out, you will also have made so many faces. But those faces will be there when you are having a dream, not when you are in deep sleep. Deep sleep is just masti ekdam.
But babies do have likes and dislikes.
Baby, no.
They
Their
have-
brain is not developed. How can you say they have got likes and they are instinctive that time, like animals. Yeah, they are instinctive. They naturally know what they like, what is necessary for them, as especially with regards to food, etc., etc. You give them something and they'll just throw it out of their mouth.
They just throw it out.
They throw it out because it's that their system is not wanting it. The system is not wanting it. So it is not like and dislike. We, because we are grown-ups, we have our likes and dislikes. He doesn't like it. He likes this or doesn't like that. But that child doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know what like and dislike means. His mind is empty.
Because of the empty mind attracts others, isn't it, Swami?
I
When you look at a child,
correct, it
the
attracts
empty
because
mind
it's innocent,
is
because it
absorbed.
has got no judgment, there is no biasness. So you can see the clear eyes, and that's what attracts you towards a child. That's what attracts us towards the Mahatmas also. When they look at us, there is no judgment in their eyes. They are accepting you as you are. The child also accepts you as you are. But he's so in tune, the system is so tuned up, but if he doesn't like your face, he will just turn away. If he likes you, he will come. Mahatma also does the same thing, but he doesn't show it. Mahatma doesn't show it. In the same way, when the jiva rejects the waking and the dream states and the trio, the experiencer, experienced and experiencing, he goes back to his own essential blissful self or the nature. Clear? Now the example of the king is taken. Maharaja Sarvabhaumaha Maharaja Sarvabhaumaha Santrupta Sarvabhogataha Santrupta Sarvabhogataha Manushanandasi Manam Manushanandasi Manam Prapyanandaika Murti Bhak Prapyanandaika Murti Bhak. An all-powerful monarch having fully content or is fully content through enjoyments of all the joys and having reached the acme of the human happiness remains as an abode of happiness. See, this is told the Ananda Mimamsa which comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, and there it is told who is this king who is experiencing this? It says what? Manushananda Simanam. The Simanam is the ultimate, the climax, the acme of human existence. Will be what? That you are the king of or the emperor of the whole earth, and there are no wars, there is enough wealth, you never get old, and you love everyone in your kingdom and everyone loves you. Imagine the joy. 1,000 times greater joy is of a musician. 1,000 times greater joy of the musician is that of Gandharvas. 1,000 times greater the joy of the Gandharvas is the joy of Indra. 1,000 times the joy of Indra. It goes on like that, and eventually it reached Brahma, Satyalok, Brahmaji. But even Brahmaji, after his lifespan of one kalpa, goes back to his source. So these are the various levels of joys that are told. These are the various levels of joys that are told. But even this king goes to sleep. Even that musician, even though he has experienced so much joy, he goes to sleep. Even Indra, he goes to sleep. Even Brahmaji, who is the creator, he also goes to sleep. So don't think you are something unique. You go to sleep, even the creator goes back to, we are not talking about Ishvara, we are talking about Brahmaji. He goes back, he becomes unmanifest. Just like you become unmanifest in deep sleep, he also becomes unmanifest at the totality level. So that is what is being told here. So why are these examples being taken? Here it is told that because the joy that one gets out of worldly enjoyment is always dependent on something or the other, being a part of the constant trio of enjoyer, enjoyed and enjoyment. Therefore, in spite of possessing every conceivable source of worldly enjoyments, he ultimately drops them all and seeks the real bliss of being with his own essential nature in deep sleep. This is the lot of everyone. Every human being, every animal, every plant, every god, everyone goes back to sleep. Goes to experience their essential nature. The, it's not just they want to experience the essential nature, they want to experience the bliss of their essential nature. That's why they go. Where do they go? They go into sleep. Because you cannot, the gods, they cannot experience the self without taking human birth. Human beings, they cannot experience the self without disidentifying from the mind. See? So what is the option left? Go to deep sleep. Because we have practiced it so long, for so many times. It's not even practice, it's automatically it's happening.
Is sleep not a natural event, you know?
It is
whether
natural,
we like
but
or
it is a
not?
phenomena. It is, you use the word event. It is a phenomena. What is a phenomena? Which appears of its own accord and disappears of its own accord. When certain, another way of putting the explaining phenomena is when certain ingredients are in the right measure, then the phenomena appears. Everywhere mirage doesn't appear. The sun has, the midday sun has to be there, the ground has to be hot, and then the mirage will appear. The phenomena of the rainbow, it will not happen on a clear sky day, you know. It will not happen even when the clouds are there. The right amount of moisture has to be there. The right amount of angle of light has to be there. Then only the phenomena of rainbow comes. So this phenomena of waking, dream and deep sleep, it is happening. Whether you like it or not, it is taking place. Did you ever in this life ever consciously say, now today I am going to be a waker or I am going to be a dreamer or I am going to be a deep? They are just happening, isn't it? So you never made conscious decision. But what scriptures are making you do is recognize that this is the phenomena that is taking place. That your mind itself is a phenomena. And in that mind, because of the sattva, rajas, tamas, these three phenomena of waking, dream and deep sleep are taking place. See? So catch this. You are not the phenomena. You know this. If you right now sitting here in this class are nodding that I know this phenomena is taking place every day, then you are not the phenomena. You are the knower. You are the witness of the phenomena. But somewhere we forget that because we have given overdue importance to this world. And why we have given overdue importance to the world? Because we have given overdue importance to this body. We are identified with this body, thinking this alone I am. That this phenomena which is appearing alone is my existence. And till this identification is there, the phenomena will, other phenomena that we are caught up in, they will continue. See? Including phenomena is also being a father, being a mother, being a daughter, being a sister, being an all these are phenomena. There is nothing there. You cannot feel like a husband until unless the wife comes in front of you or her thought comes in your mind. Then you will start, automatically you start behaving funny. I have seen it, that's what I am saying. The moment the thought of your child or of that child is in front of you or the thought comes, immediately your heart becomes, melting. you feel a different emotion, which is not possible by thinking of anything else in this world. Why? Because the right condition is created within the mind. Like Vishwamitra had a Menka, Surendran has a Bindi. Every class he goes and disturbs his meditation. You not go to anyone else, only the one who's meditating.
He's sitting blissfully.
Ah. And she does everything in slow motion there. Huh? So get this. This is important. How we are deluding ourselves. Now the last example of the Jivan Mukta Purusha is explained. Mahavipro Brahmavedi Mahavipro Brahmavedi Krutokrutyatva Lakshanam Krutokrutyatva Lakshanam Vidyanandasya Paramam Vidyanandasya Paramam Kashtham prapyavatishthate Kashtham prapyavatishthate. A great knower of the Vedas and also the knower of Brahman, having reached the supreme state of fulfillment through the bliss of knowledge, gets established in Brahman. So, Mahavipra Brahmavedi Krudakrutyatva Lakshanam. The man of wisdom who has realized his essential nature, in whom the Aham Brahmasmi knowledge has taken place, is established in the conviction that whatever had to be done has been done, and he has no regrets of commissions and omissions. He has gone beyond the limitations of the do's and don'ts. Start practicing that in your life. What has been done, has to be done, has been done. Nothing more to achieve, nothing more to do, nothing more to, nobody else to please anymore, nor seek approval from anyone else in our daily life. Then you will be happy in your own company. But as long as you are seeking approval, joy, your source of joy is outside of you. Till then, there is every possibility that sorrow will also come. Because if that source of joy, if it is not available, then problem. If Bindi doesn't go to him every Wednesday, next Wednesday he'll start thinking, where is Bindi? Even though the eyes are closed. He's nodding. Huh? Think. But this Mahatma, he has realized, he has come to this conclusion that I am that. Vidyanandasya paramam kashtham prapyavatishthate. He has attained the bliss of knowledge to the maximum. He has attained Jivan Mukti and is one with Brahmananda. See? When they use this language, now don't get, when they use this language, the man of wisdom who has realized his essential nature, in whom the Aham Brahmasmi knowledge has taken place, is established in the conviction. Just like you are established in the conviction that you had a deep sleep, isn't it? Your mouth is speaking it, your mind is thinking it, but that mind was not available there. That waker was not available there, but still the conviction is there. Exactly the same way. When you are in meditation, when you are in Savikalpa Samadhi or Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is a deep conviction that I was in Samadhi. Just because you know you were absorbed in yourself. Those people who come out and say, I don't know where I was then, they were sleeping. That's all. So in Samadhi, you know, you are conscious, you are available to yourself. You are not unavailable to yourself. I don't know where I went in deep sleep. Something pulled me and I vanished. Where did you vanish? You went to sleep, nothing else. Samadhi cannot be an unconscious experience. It has to be a conscious. So similarly, once you come to abide in your essential nature, you know you are right now. Isn't it? Every one of you knows that you are. She's laughing. Because immediately some other thought comes. Am I the self? Am I the body? Am I the mind? I am the mother. I am the wife. I am this. I am that. Which one? See? So, right now, I am Brahman is weak. We know. Having come to satsang, we are convinced of it. But it is weak. It is not steady. Every time we say I am Brahman, very next moment some experience comes and says, Cha, teko abhi main dikha. And the mind throws something else and you are taken for a sixer. Thrown out of the boundary line. So why that is happening? Because we are not established in it. It has that conviction in our intellect has not become steady. Our abidance in our own self has not become steady. As our abidance in our own self will become steady, automatically the conviction also will become. Because when you are in yourself, as yourself, there is no need to communicate anything. Communication only takes place when someone other is there. And you cannot remain in samadhi all the time also. So when you come out of samadhi, then you know where you are. You know that there is no doubt in my mind that I was, not I was one with myself. I am that. That's it. Can't even say that I was with myself. So here, why are these three examples of a small child, of a king and of a realized master taken? So here Swami is telling that instead of saying that the prerequisite to go into deep sleep is only being miserable, being tired, being exhausted from living in the world. No. So he has taken positive examples. That a child is always happy. He's got no likes and dislikes. Still he goes to deep sleep. A king is also happy because he has got everything. I was watching Sankat Mochan Mahavir Hanuman, new serial. It started in the beginning of this month. And in that, the Daksha Maharaj has 5,000 children. Narad Muni comes and gives them Updesh, they all become sannyasis. Daksha Maharaj is the mind-born son of Brahmaji to propagate his creation. So one of his daughters was Parvati, Uma or Sati, or Uma. Sati afterwards she was called, but his daughter was Uma. After she burnt herself in the yajna, then she was called Sati. So then he has 6 sons, or few, I don't know how many, they showed 6. And he says, children, yes, dad, they are all grown up, they have gone to the Gurukul, they have come back, and he says, I am telling you, you are whose sons? Daksha Prajapati. It's like a military drill. So what is the ashram that I follow? Grahastha ashram. And then he is saying, Grahastha ashram is the only ashram where you can gain ultimate happiness. And this is, I am telling you this. Then one of the sons says, what if, but Narad, don't talk about that manipulative Narad Muni. He always fills up the ears of everyone and takes them in the wrong direction. He says, and if he comes, you turn your back to him. If he speaks, you close your ears. And this much warning he gives and he goes away. Immediately Narad Muni comes. And they show they show their back to him. So, and he's about to, why you are doing this? They close their ears. But because he's their uncle, so they listen to him. So he says, okay, you can close your eyes, you turn around, but why you are doing this? No, our father has said this, that you always create trouble wherever you go, and that you have made all our elder brothers 5,000 or 500,000, all of them into sannyasis, and he says, father says, Grahastha ashram is the only place where you can really get full satisfaction and enjoyment. He says, okay, you don't listen to me, but answer my questions. Does your father follow Grahastha ashram? Yes. Is he happy? No. Has he ever smiled? No, he is always angry. Immediately all the 6 turn around and start listening to him and become sannyasis. So he says, I am not making any conclusions. You make the conclusion. If Grahastha ashram is a source of happiness, then why is your father always in an angry state of mind? Why is he always cheesed off? He should be smiling all the time. And have you ever seen me, whatever anyone says or doesn't say, have you ever seen me ever angry? They said no. And who am I? They say sannyasi. So which one is more wonderful? Sannyas ashram or Grahastha ashram? They say sannyas ashram. He says come. So they answer. He doesn't say anything. He just asks the right question. What happened? क्या हो गया? नहीं टाइम देख रहे हो इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ. This is explained in the next 2 shlokas. Mugdha buddhati buddhanam, mugdha buddhati buddhanam, loke siddha sukhatmata, udahruta manyetu dukkino na sukhatmakaha. An ignorant child, a wise king, and a man of realization are well known to be happy in the world. Among the examples quoted, others are miserable and are not happy. But these 3 examples, they are always happy. Child is always happy. The moment he feels the stomach is full, he is happy. A king who is the monarch of the whole world, and as I explained to you that everyone loves him, he loves everyone, he is not getting old, etc., etc. But he is also happy. And also the last one, the realized master also is happy. And the one who does not have any discrimination like the infant, so ignorance is bliss. The first one, the child's case is ignorance is bliss. He doesn't know why he is happy, but he is happy. So we are also like that. One who has the discrimination to rule the world like a monarch, and he is also happy. I gave the example. And the man of wisdom, he is also happy because he is established in the self. Udahruta namanyetu dukkhino na sukhatmakaha. As compared to these 3 examples, others in this world are already miserable. They are not happy. Therefore, if the common man is taken as an example, it would appear as if misery in the waking and dream states are preconditions for bliss in the deep sleep state. No. we do not want to come to that conclusion that you go to sleep because you are miserable, because you have put efforts, because you have become exhausted. We don't want to put that. Even a happy person also goes to sleep. And that's why positive examples were taken rather than the negative. And negative examples were the Shakuni and the Shiena. Now the point made is that the Brahmananda or the bliss of our essential being is devoid of any conditioning of time, place or object. कुमारादिव देवायम् कुमारादिव देवायम् ब्रह्मानन्दैकतत्परः ब्रह्मानन्दैकतत्परः स्त्रीपरिष्वक्तवद्वेद स्त्रीपरिष्वक्तवद्वेद न बाह्यं नापि चान्तरम् napi chantaram. Just as the children and the infants are ever happy, indeed, so this jiva in the deep sleep is engaged in the bliss of Brahman. Just as the man in the embrace of his wife neither knows the outer or the inner things, so also this jiva is fully immersed in the bliss of Brahman in deep sleep. So two more examples are given where the conditioning of time space is transcended. So what is that? What are those examples? The first one is of the children and infants that uh, um, just as the children and infants are out of ignorance very happy in deep sleep. And the next example is the one who has fallen in love, the one who is with his beloved. There also they say in love, love transcends time and space. And uh, such a person, he forgets food, he forgets the job, he forgets all the time. He's only thinking about the beloved. That's all there is. How intense is this eagerness is indicated in this example where the man who is in love with the beloved and he is thinking of one to the exclusion of all other thoughts. And it's not just mere thinking, it's intensely thinking. Intensely. Just like when you go to deep, when you are tired, you intensely think of going to sleep, isn't it? Somewhere at night, before you watch yourself, somewhere it will catch you. Enough for today. I want to go back. Maybe you have already thought about it, who knows? We don't know. He is oblivious of internal and external matters, all sense of time, place and object. For that you have to fall in love. With what? With sleep. Not fall in love with the world. Fall in love with the sleep, fall in love with the divine. Then it will happen. Every example that is given, we don't have to experiment it out. in the what is that? Steiner school, Have you heard of Steiner schools? There everything is done on experimental basis. What you experience is the truth. And I came across one lady. She says, no, everything that you have to experience. I said, what will you experience? She says, what you see, hear, touch, feel. So I said, so seeing is believing, is it? I said, tell me, have you ever seen your mind? She says, no. Have you seen space? No. Then you are experiencing it. But then that person then starts, they do not See, smart person, what a smart person does, he learns from other people's experiences. He learns from other people's experiences. But there, you have to experiment, you have to experience. Then knowledge comes. Right? Knowledge doesn't come from experiment, knowledge comes from observation. Where are we? In the same way, in the Sushupti Avastha, the Jiva is so impatient to be with his own essential nature that identification with inside, outside, place, time, and object is totally withdrawn. So, just like that person who is in love is transcends space time objectivity, similarly, the person who is in deep sleep has transcended space time and objectivity. What is meant by external, bahya and internal antara in this context? Bahyam rathyadijam vrittam. Bahyam rathyadijam vrittam. Gruhakrutyam yathantaram. Gruhakrutyam yathantaram. Tatha jagaranam bahyam. तथा जागरणं बाह्यं नीडस्थ स्वप्न आंतरः नीडस्थ स्वप्न आंतरः. So bahyam rathadijam vrittam means just like outside in our daily experience, outside is rathadijam vrittam. The various objects, the cars, the house, people and the various vehicles, they are outside. But from that outside, what is inside? The space inside the house is inside, isn't it? So that is the comparative. Similarly, tatha jagaranam bahyam nidastha swapna antara. Similarly, there is mental act, there is the waking world is outside and the dream world is inside. So there are objects, objective world, there is a gross world with space, air, fire, water, earth. There is a subtle world with space, air, fire, water, earth also. Because in the dream also you experience these five elements. So that is outside and this is inside. So when we are saying that in deep sleep he has got no sense of outside or inside, means he has got no sense of waking world and dream world. And therefore he has gone beyond time and space. Because where there is movement, in waking and dream there is movement. Where there is movement, time is born. Where there are objects, space is created. Therefore, in the deep sleep state, the jiva is neither out nor in. Second point, he is neither conditioned by the waking state nor by the dream state. And third, in and out carry no meaning for this jiva in the deep sleep state, because he is just before getting into the deep sleep state, he has intensely thought only about that one. He doesn't know what it is, where he goes, but he knows this much, that when he goes into the deep sleep, it is a place of bliss, that he is totally at peace with himself, and therefore he seeks it every day. Now, in support of this, the various Upanishads, or Bharadharanyaka Upanishad is quoted, then Kaivalya Upanishad is quoted, then another Shruti is quoted, and then the conclusion is given. Petapi supta vapiteti, petapi supta vapiteti, आदौ जीवत्ववारणात्, आदौ जीवत्ववारणात्, सुप्तौ ब्रह्मैव नो जीवः, सुप्तौ ब्रह्मैव नो जीवः संसारित्वा समीक्षणात्. The scriptures negate the jivahood in the deep sleep by statements like, in deep sleep the father is no more a father, etc. Therefore, the sleeping person, being not connected with the world of constant change, that is samsara, he is no more a jiva but Brahman indeed. I think we will take this in our next class, all the points, various scriptures which are cited, and perfect timing. She also got her. And we'll just
Really smart. Yeah.
and we just sit in silence for some time. Not snoring, purring. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. So sit in silence and contemplate whatever comes to your mind first.